This video will be about cum clauses using the subjunctive mood for transfer Latin. In our last video, we talked about the subjunctive mood, and we said that it's used for subordinate clauses. We looked at two tenses, the imperfect and the pluperfect. The imperfect uses the infinitive and the present tense endings, while the pluperfect uses the perfect stem, the particle ise, and those same present tense endings. Let's conjugate a verb to remind ourselves what this looks like. For the imperfect, we're going to use the second principal part, or infinitive. And we're going to use it exactly as it is, without changing it. All we're going to do is add these endings, m, st, mus, tis, unt. For the pluperfect, we're going to use the third principal part, take off the perfect ending to get the stem amau. To this stem, amau, we're going to add the particle ise. And after we've added the particle ise, we can use the exact same endings, m, st, mus, tis, unt. Now let's use the subjunctive in a cum clause. A cum clause begins with the word cum, and it has a verb in the subjunctive mood. Let's look at a couple examples. Rex, cum ad aulam adveniset, miletes eius appellavit. Can you see the subjunctive clause? It begins with cum, and it has adveniset, that subjunctive pluperfect verb. So everything outside of that clause is the main clause, and that's what we'll translate first. So we have the king addressed his soldiers. Now we'll go back in and add in the subjunctive clause. When he had arrived at the palace. And put together we get the complete sentence, the king, when he had arrived at the palace, addressed his soldiers. There's another one. Cum dominus hanc epistulam scriberet, servus pavimentum lavabat. With this one, the entire first clause is a cum clause, from cum to scriberet. So we have when the master was writing this letter, and now we'll tack on the main clause. The slave was washing the floor. So let's review what we know about cum clauses. They start with a cum, and they have a verb in the subjunctive. Once we go to translate, cum becomes when, but the verb we will translate just as we normally would. For more examples of cum clauses, see pages 70 and 73 in your textbook, and if you still have questions, you should post them to your Google Classroom page. Voila!